on, and action.
I wish we can get a better host. And welcome to Political Trendy Radio, episode 41 for the 18th of November, 2015. Did I say 31 or 41? I meant 41.
It's
I can't
42.
remember.
You posted 42 on Facebook.
It's actually 41. I fucked up. Anyway, whatever. Who cares? You can email me at ellinthemood@gmail.com. Twitter is at ptradio666. Facebook.com/politicaltrendyradio. My name is Elliot. The dog in the background is Charlie. And who do I have here?
You have Eric, who is currently bored and just finished watching Elevator.
He is surfing porn.
No.
Oh, pity. That would be cool. That would be pretty fun, actually.
One day.
The scratchy voice is due to me having a cold and that not stopping me doing black metal vocals, which is not very smart to do. So if my voice gets more intolerable than usual, bear with it. Especially because we're doing this on Friday too. So it's Wednesday because Monday I actually felt worse. So I just had to do this Wednesday, and hell, I didn't even feel like doing it today. So the things I'll do for this show.
Okay.
Crazy preacher rants for an hour about how France deserved the terrorist attacks. Because...
You know what's surprising about that article, Elliot?
What?
That this preacher was not one of them.
Oh, God. I don't know if it's an article. I've actually watched the full... Well, Jim, no introduction needed for PTR watchers. Everyone knows who Jim is. I mean, seriously, he's on this show like every Friday. Jim posted on the official PTR chat, which you can't be a part of because you're not one of us. I mean, Eric could be if he wanted to, but you can't. He posted a link to a refutation of the thing, which was interesting. But then he posted in the description the actual video of the preacher ranting for an hour about how France deserved the attacks because France promotes adultery and accepts adultery and the evil gays, and because the Eagles of Death Metal are a death metal group, which 10 seconds of research can tell you otherwise, but whatever, and that, quote, if you go to a death metal show, you should expect to die. I've been to many death metal shows, and I haven't died yet. Although the just pure awesomeness of Cannibal Corpse almost killed me, but that was in a much better way.
Mm-hmm.
And this went on for like an hour, and the funny thing is you can actually hear these people agreeing with them. Oh, yeah, so true, so true. I mean, the only difference between a church and a cult leader is if it's officially, if it's recognized as by mainstream society, it's a church. If it's not, it's a cult. That's my... What?
Don't forget, cults are not tax-free.
Pretty much. I mean, no one will say, oh, you can't join this church, but they'll say you can't join the cult, even though I know plenty of religious fanatics who you wouldn't know the difference. Okay, so I posted something on the God's Not Dead Facebook page after our friend Ida posted something on Facebook about God's Not Dead 2. And no, I will not be watching that movie. I watched God's Not Dead 1. And my brain has finally agreed with my heart and said, no, we're not watching this. But I figured the rational wiki response was needed, so I posted, I've gained a Christian friend. Holly Davidson. Um, Name given because she is annoying and now fulfills my messages with "Thank the Lord for making you blind" or something. I don't fucking know. That's all she posts is Christian Bible quotes or whatever. So yeah, it's just kind of like, why?
Actually, I'm trying to look for some of your comments on the page, and they posted a post that's saying atheism is on the rise. Where will you stand? For more and more Americans, their choice is to stand as far from God as possible.
Good. You know, it in America at least, there actually is a correlation with less religious belief and intelligence. I know that sounds fascistic, but it's actually true. I'm not saying all religious people are stupid, but as the intelligence grows, the more uh, the less willingness to stand authoritarian, rules and believing in miracles grows. So yeah, you do start to question things. If
Do you
you,
want me? Go ahead.
you know, there is actually a correlation between, more critical thinking and being more of a skeptic. I'm not saying everyone who is a skeptic comes to the conclusion that there is no God. Some people come to the conclusion that there is. Some people come to the conclusion that God is Satan. Some people come to the conclusion that God works on a way we can't fathom. That's all well and good. I don't care. But I'm just saying, as far as mainstream, because that's not really considered mainstream religion. Mainstream religion is. But what were you saying, Eric?
I'm just reading some of the comments on that atheism post on God's Not Dead, and here's some of the responses people had to say. I stand with God, and they wish they had when Jesus returns. No, God is not dead. We are dead until we answer the Savior's call. Then we become alive in Christ and forgiven by God. God's
Zombies.
not God's not dead, never has been, never will be. I stand with God. My choice was made when I was very young. Thugs and politicians will not make me change my mind. My heart belongs to God.
Your choice was made because you were force fed all this shit at Sunday school. If you had never heard of this God thing, you would have been the same person, just without the. That's the thing. That's the thing. If you had never heard of God, if you were born somewhere where there was no talk of this Christian God, you wouldn't know anything about it. You wouldn't know anything about it. Would you believe something else? Maybe, but you wouldn't believe in, you know. But my thing has always been, well, the ultra religious have always said, well, it's, you have to provide the proof. No, we don't. You have to provide the proof because you're the one making unscientific claims. We have the proof. You have to provide the proof, which you can't. I mean, I've spent years debating religious people and trying to get into good graces, saying I just want answers, and all they say is, "Well, if you don't know, then we can't tell you." It's like, great, thanks. Personally, though, everyone should worship the goat.
The ghost, yes. Oh, and here is another comment. I'm trying to find it. It's saying, better to believe in God and be wrong than not to believe and be wrong.
Pascal's wager, one of the oldest tricks in the book, and something that only works for those who are actual Christians, because those who aren't will go, "Wait, what?" That's how Mustaine rationalized his belief, and I'm just like, your logic is so weak. I mean, if there is a God, and if I am wrong, I will just say, you know what? I did the best I could with the evidence provided in front of me. I don't really care. and then I'll go to hell and party with all the musicians and all my friends.
These comments are gold. I'll just keep reading them until I get bored. It says God is very much alive and lives in the hearts of millions. That's why all this bad stuff is happening. Satan is working overtime. He knows the time is near when we will see our Lord again.
Cuckoo.
Okay, and another one. As for me and my family, we stand with God Almighty. What a surprise the atheists are in for.
Surprise? No. Uh, what a disappointment you're in for. Actually, won't really matter. You won't actually be. That's the great thing about religion. I have to say this. This is the great thing about religion. When you die, you're dead, so you don't know because you won't be able to be around. See, that's the great thing is you'll never be proven wrong because when you die, you stop existing. So really, you win either way because whatever you believe in, you'll go to your deathbed believing that. And I'm sorry, people. After you die, there's nothing else. I know how comforting it is to think that someone's watching over you, and I've had those feelings, but unfortunately, it's not true. The only ones watching over you is the NSA spy planes and the black helicopters trying to take our guns
And our gerbs.
and our gerbs. The black helicopters, and they're silent too. They're silent black helicopters, which people living at airports would go, hell, I want one of those. Uh, Coming to round us up and put us in FEMA concentration camps. I like lumping all those conspiracy things together because it is funny how someone who believes in one tends to believe in all 6,000.
Even if they contradict each other.
And it's like the Bible.
Oh my god.
Oh, come on. I'm one of the few people who've actually read the Bible. Um, it, it amazes me how many people haven't actually read the Bible. How many people call themselves Christians and haven't read the Bible? Even The Simpsons, who, you know, Futurama probably has a few atheists in the writing staff, but The Simpsons has never really been known for being that groundbreaking. I mean, really. Um, but even they say, they had Flanders say, "I even did the stuff that contradicts the other stuff."
And how he keeps kosher just in case.
Yes, that's the funny thing about The Simpsons. That's the funny thing about most religious right smear campaigns is they smear the mainstream and don't go after the underground, who magnifies times 10. And then when they do go after the underground, it's usually um, it actually usually helps the underground. I mean, I don't want to make light of the Jello Biafra situation because I know what hell he went through, and if you don't know what hell he went through, uh, I suggest you consult the album Tales from the Trial. It's a really interesting album, but really that kind of helped him because in the very long run, Jello, if you're listening to this, which you won't be because you don't use the internet, but I'm not saying it was a good thing, but I'm saying I think in the long run it helped him because it brought him to the light of new people, and it got him to do spoken word. I mean, same thing with having Merciful Fate's Into the Coven on the Filthy 15 list. I mean, who had heard of Merciful Fate before that? Maybe like couple thousand metalheads, but now, oh, wow, that's filthy enough to be into the into filthy 15. It probably exposed a lot of people to like left-hand path religions. So thank you, Tipper Gore. Thank you for promoting Satan. Of
Oh, Super Gore.
course, it also promoted Wasp.
And Twisted Sister.
I was sorry, cough. Deal with it. Um, Shut up, computer. uh, I was watching something about metal in the '80s, and it's funny because I didn't live through the '80s, so I kind of have my own picture of it uh, as being where the NWOBHM, and then you go to 82. You get the thrash thing. You get 85, 86 death metal, uh, or should I say the beginnings of death metal, and then of course grindcore and hardcore punk. But if you look at it, everyone talks about, like someone once said, well, I was making fun of somebody liking glam. They're like, I was 17, 1985. That's about all I had. And I was like, possessed,
I
possessed.
remember we were talking about this. You say that your 80s was the thrash and the NWOBHM, and you like to pretend that Van Halen and Twisted Sister and Motley Crue never happened.
Well, as someone once said in the documentary "Get Thrashed," without heaven, there's no hell.
Hmm.
Without glam metal, I mean, I I listened to some of it just because I wanted to know what it sounded like. Because I mean, let's face it, a lot of NWOBHM bands looked stupid. I mean, look at Diamond Head; they looked awful. The fashion choices. Look at Manowar. If you ever want to see moronic looking people, look at the band Manowar.
Hmm.
Retard metal at its best. It's like Ted Nugent only, but really good music. So I listened to it, and it's just I don't know how they can call most of it metal, or even I mean, some of it had loud guitars, quote unquote. Some of it had kind of hard rocky riffs, but I would say as far as metal goes, I'd say Led Zeppelin was more metal than Motley Crue or Poison.
Would you would you say Van Halen also was more
Yeah,
metal than that?
yeah. Which is, I mean, I don't really, Oh fuck yeah! Sorry, great rock star. I use it to massage my throat.
But remember, you have to give D. Snyder credit for taking on Tipper Gore.
Yeah, that was surprising. It was good. I mean, Twisted Sister I thought had some potential because they were a little bit rougher, but they
Mhm.
never really channeled the roughness into anything really concrete. They just kind of hovered around it. I don't think the band really knew what it had, um, ever. Um, so that's kind of how
Mhm.
I like. Yeah, like kind of like Motley Crue's first album was actually not bad. Whose second
Mhm.
album was also not. First two albums they weren't great, but they weren't bad.
They were
Um,
decent.
Def Leppard's first wasn't good, wasn't bad, but I always figured those bands never really knew what they had. Uh, and then of course they came up with something, something for America's Housewives.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's just funny, Venom was talking about how you know Michael Jackson's Thriller was in the heavy metal charts, and they were like, no, we're not heavy metal then. I mean, Venom actually name checked Def Leppard even back in the '80s as something, or even back in the '70s as something they didn't like. They actually
Hmm.
said something to the effect of, "We looked around at the Saxons and Samsons and Def Leppards, and we're like, that's not what metal's supposed to be. Metal's supposed to be dark and evil, not poppy." So of course,
Dio said
Venom.
the same thing. But
But
Dio said the same thing about bands like Poison, saying that these new bands that wore makeup and they were more about the partying and how many drinks they could have and how many underage girls they could bring backstage, and we had to become something we were not to compete with that.
I always wondered with the average, like, let's say you were like a metal fan, maybe you're into some of the NWOBHM, and you also know some of the Hairspray bands, and you see Venom's Welcome to Hell.
Mhm.
Oh yes. Oh, I know people who were into like death metal and thrash metal have actually said the first time they heard Venom they were scared of it. Same thing
Mhm.
with Slayer. You know, people who were into like Metallica were like, I heard Slayer and I was actually scared of it.
Hmm.
I mean, contrary to what most people tell you, Venom's music and Slayer's music still holds up to this day. I mean, I could still play Welcome to Hell and black metal and maybe At War with Satan, but that song just kind of stretches out too long. I mean, it's 20 minutes. I could still play, and it still makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Venom rules, and yes, they have actually released some good stuff after that too. But and then Hellhammer came along. I like to chart the musical evolution and kind of see what bands came along, and then I actually have a glam record you won't like, Eric.
Really?
I have actually, yes, Celtic Frost's Cold Lake album.
That doesn't. Do I have to suffer through it with you?
What?
Do I have to suffer through it, or I'm all good?
Oh, you should hear one. You might like it except for the vocals. Imagine if you ever heard Celtic Frost, the vocals are very non-melodic, very rough, kind of like the guy from Venom. Imagine that, but he's singing glam. I'll send you a song later. It's
Oh,
awful. It's funny because they sold out in '88 before sellout was like commonplace. Before Metallica, for 3 years before Metallica sold out.
mhm.
I still don't know what to think of that album too. I mean, some of the songs are good, some of the songs are not so good, and then there's Inner Sandman, which could be an all right song. It's just I can't bear it any longer. I've heard it too much.
The radio beat it out.
I mean, like you listen to that riff and you're just like, yeah, you can kind of tell what's coming. Um, I was reading a book about Metallica, and they were talking about how well, Injustice for All was just so complicated. You know, we wanted to uh, tone down or simplify. So for me, simplifying would mean getting faster and harder. For them, it means writing songs for the radio.
Mhm.
I mean, compare, let's say, Blackened, to Inner Sandman with that arena rock riff.
Yeah.
It's pretty pathetic, actually. Oh yeah, yeah. And then Hetfield started doing that, oh yeah, yeah. And it's just like, oh, James, really?
Mhm.
Um,
But they did say that their next album will continue returning to their thrash roots, like on Death Magnetic.
yeah, Death Magnetic was an enjoyable album. I mean, the production sucked horribly, but people who thought I can stand the Saint Anger drum sound. I could barely stand Death Magnetic's production. Rick Rubin, please stop letting your beard produce songs, please. I
Rick
mean,
Rubin produced 13, right?
yeah, that was a horrible production job too. Hard to believe he produced Rain and Blood.
You know, you were saying that you could actually tolerate Saint Anger's production.
Yes,
I'm trying my hardest not to make a guitar solos joke. Oh, who cares? I'll make it anyways. But there's no guitar solos on that album, man.
and that's the best thing they ever did because Kirk Hammett's guitar solos are annoying. I mean, Kerry King makes use of the wah wah pedal to create this atmosphere of chaos and torture. Kirk Hammett makes use of the wah wah pedal to piss me off. I think that's why he does it. I'm convinced he does it to piss me off.
So
Me.
right now, as Metallica records, you think that Kurt's sitting at his desk with his guitar, thinking, "How can I piss Elliot Lindemood off? Off to the
That's.
Wawa."
Have you ever heard him talk? He has the weirdest voice I've ever heard. He sounds like a mentally ill surfer. He just doesn't sound too bright. Have you ever seen if you ever have 2 hours and 20 minutes, watch the movie Some Kind of Monster.
Okay.
It's worth watching. That's what this band has become. I mean, well, oh, I was talking about Rain and Blood. It's hard to believe Bob Rock produced a whole bunch of Canadian punk records that I have. Like the Canadian Subhumans. It's hard to believe he produced that and then produced Bon Jovi and Motley Crue. Um,
And yeah,
it's sell out. Yeah, he used to produce a bunch of Canadian punk because he would just basically have the. I think he produced DOA in the '90s too, which I've really. That's It's so weird that he would produce DOA in the '90s. I mean, when he probably making billions of bajillions of dollars from Metallica. I mean, unless he was like Steve Albini, and I guess Steve doesn't actually receive any royalties for making like the Nirvana record or anything like that. Uh, which that's a guy who stick to his punk credibility. Um, but yeah, yeah. Um, I like Lars Ulrich's comment on Dave Mustaine though.
what?
It, Here's a guy who was in the band for a year who didn't play on any Metallica record. I find it hard to believe that the only thing that's been at the forefront of his mind is his Metallica thing. I mean, it just doesn't. I can understand being annoyed, being pissed off about it for a couple of years, maybe, but there comes a time when you've just got to let it go, and
Move on.
you've got to do your own thing. You've made your point that they stole your riffs. You've made your point that they bastardize your songs or whatever. But you produced vastly more work than they have in the past 25 years. I mean, you're on album 15, they're on album 10. Um, you've done better music than they have. At least your first four albums were really good. Um, and then you became a bad shit Christian. Uh, he. I always thought he was the best songwriter Metallica had. I always thought James was a good rhythm guitarist, but I never really thought he was that good of a lyricist or a riff writer. And Ulrich's, everyone knows what I think of Lars's drums.
Yeah,
Hey, there's
everybody knows what everyone thinks of Lars's drums.
there's someone I could play better than.
As Tommy Lee once posted on his Twitter page, Lars Ulrich is straight out of tempo.
Says Tommy Lee, who isn't really known for being a very good drummer.
He's known for beating his wife and making porn.
Yeah. Hey, uh, but it's far. But yeah, it's just, I never really thought Metallica had that much talent. To tell you the truth, I guess Dave Lombardo when he first heard Slayer, when he first heard the Black album, you know what his response was?
What?
He threw it down the stairs. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, he actually threw the album down the stairs. That's that's what I'd do if I didn't. I've never paid for that album actually. I
I
got
know.
it. I got it for free about 3 times within a 10-year period. Even when I liked the album, I didn't pay for it. I've only paid for Kill 'Em All, Master of Puppets, Saint Anger, and Death Magnetic, and the DVD. And I don't plan on buying any more Metallica albums.
You're just gonna download a new one whenever it comes out.
Yep. So we were
If they
talking
ever
on
get
Facebook.
around to finish it. Yeah.
What happened?
If they ever get around to finishing it.
Oh, I'm sure by 20. Well, I'm pretty sure it'll be the last one they ever make too. Which leads me into this. We were talking on Facebook the other day about. I have a theory that in 5, 10 years, most of the bands from the '70s and early '80s won't be around any longer. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
let's just look at some of these bands. Let's see. Motorhead, Lemmy is about to die.
Mhm.
Uh, He's 70 years old and he's released 23 albums. Sabbath has said they're not. Ozzy said he's not recording another Sabbath album. Apparently, he's recording another solo album,
He
which,
said that even if Sabbath is gone, then he'll continue doing as Ozzy.
yeah, 'cause Scream was such a rousing success. I've actually heard that album. It was pathetic. It was like Avenged Sevenfold meets Ozzy Osbourne, which, I mean, Ozzy Osbourne himself is pathetic, but uh, Kiss, they're like
Ugh,
80 years old.
I
I don't.
really don't. I mean, they can't even agree. You mean the same Kiss that's taking forever to release another concert DVD?
Geez, how long does it take to release a concert DVD?
I have no idea. Bank Machine says that that they have like hours and hours and hours of unseen concert footage that the fans will enjoy, but they really haven't made a strong commitment. He once said that the next Kiss album would include a 10-hour DVD bonus feature of all the concerts they've performed. 10 hours worth of concerts, but it didn't come with the last album, so I'm not sure.
Can he fit 10 hours on a DVD?
Well, that's what he said. It would have been a 10-hour DVD box set, but
Jeez.
it didn't come.
I just released it for free on the internet, but, what do I know?
I'm,
I am not a capitalist.
I'm gonna go
Uh,
chase after him. Thank you for reminding me to go yell at him.
I own a bank machine.
I'm gonna yell. If I ever see Bank Machine, I'm gonna yell at him and saying, all the Kiss fans want the next Kiss concert DVD. Get on it at stat. I'll edit it for you if I have to.
And I'll yell at him for vastly different reasons. ACDC, they're like ancient.
Yeah.
Anvil's ancient. They're working on another album. Priests have gone back and forth on quitting slash not quitting.
Hold
Uh,
on. Back real quick back on ACDC. They said that they don't want to retire anytime soon, but Brian Johnson admits that he is getting up there in age, and the guitar player has Alzheimer's and dementia now, so he isn't sure. They say that they'll try and keep going for as long as they want to keep making music, but it won't be happen. But if they have
yes,
to call it quits soon, then they will.
reportedly he woke up thinking he was talented.
Oh, shut up. And
I,
he also woke up thinking that his band was still relevant today.
yes, yes, he woke up and goes, "Oh, these kids, these kids, they love us. 'Cause we're AC/DC, and I'm as talented as I'm a talented guitarist."
Hold on. Hold on,
And
hold on. I'll
Brian
be right there for horror story.
and
Continue.
Brian Johnson can sing.
Yes, he can!
Oh God, that ball's better than him. Oh God, yeah, no, he can't. He can't sing. Um, some of the and Motley Crue apparently have gone away, which is good.
Yeah, Motley Crue. A lot of people, when they say that we're retiring and this is the end of Motley Crue, a lot of fans are saying you guys will be back, and Kiss did the same thing, and Ozzy said the same thing. But Nikki Sixx has gotten so pissed off at people who accuse Motley of faking it that every time somebody says you'll be back or we'll see you on the next tour, he starts blocking them on Twitter.
Well, let's just think of how many bands have reunited in the past years. Bands that I didn't even think had a following. I look at. I can't think. My mind's mind, that obscure grindcore band from the Netherlands. I didn't think they had a following other than like maybe a few hundred grind fans, but they reunited. Uh, a couple other bands. I'm like, uh, Lethal Aggression, that crossover band from New York. I didn't think anyone knew them, but they've reunited. But there are bands that I'm surprised that haven't reunited, like Acid. Girl School have released a new album, actually. The basically the much better looking and much better sounding Motorhead.
Hmm.
They're like Motorhead, but less ugly. But then again, anything is less ugly than Lemming. Come on, really?
Hmm.
I mean, even in their 50s. It's a good album. They kind of sound like they kind of sound like a female version of Anvil now,
Okay.
which is funny because they actually did the glam thing in the 80s. They actually did like the full on like LA sound, which is
Hmm.
kind of sad actually.
And by the way, continuing on, Alice Cooper said that he has no intention of ever retiring from the industry. He says that he wants to beat Mick Jagger when it comes to longevity in the career.
Unfortunately, Alice, you aren't immortal. I mean, not even the great Jinx is immortal, sadly.
He even said that once Mick Jagger announces the Rolling Stones are retiring, he'll look at that and say, I can go 6 more years after that.
Yes, but like I said, not even the great Jinx is immortal. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, everything has to end. And when
Are
that,
we even going to mention the Stones or McCartney?
all right, sorry, someone's coming into my room.
In the
He's
little.
leaving.
Yeah.
So, no, it was just my uncle saying he was leaving.
Okay.
What was I saying? No, the thing is that you can never really say when you're gonna. I mean, look at how many people are surprised Lemmy's lived till he's 70 years old.
So true.
So many people thought, or like, but yeah, he's probably got another 5 years left in him.
Hmm.
And as far as Alice Cooper, well, when he dies, he'll meet Jinx, and she'll be like, "Hello," and he'll be like, "Ah, I'm afraid, I'm afraid."
How much longer do you think the Rolling Stones have left?
I don't know. I keep like when he said that. My question was actually, they're still alive. They're still around.
Yeah. Keith
Wow,
Richards is now surviving primarily. His bones are held together with all that nicotine he smoked throughout the years.
pretty much, and all those drugs he's done.
Paul McCartney will probably live forever.
I hope not.
And so will
I've been,
Ringo Starr.
I've been waiting for Paul McCartney's death for about 15 years. Ever since I heard my first Beatles song, was like, yeah, not my thing. Come on, Paul, go die, go. He had that peg leg wife, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's all I know about Paul McCartney. And he was in the Beatles and Wings, neither of which I liked.
And he said that if John and George were still alive, then there definitely would have been a Beatles reunion by now.
Glad there wasn't, because the
Yes.
Beatles suck. I like Ags. Who likes the Beatles? Fuck the Beatles. Fuck the Beatles.
Oh my god, American Horror Story is on right now. Um, Elliot, I might have to dip out right now.
And I'll just be alone for. Just watch it later on fucking Netflix.
I guess I
Whatever.
can watch. I guess I can do two things at the same time right now.
Or you can just wait till it's and watch it later. Or I can just end this and fuck off.
Whatever you want to do.
Well, I don't want to end it though. That's the thing. But I can't talk by myself for an hour. I mean, that can't happen.
I
I
can
need.
watch the rerun. I'll watch the rerun at 11.
Yes, there is a rerun. I've never been one to like appointment television, even racing. A lot of times I'll just watch it on YouTube. So as far as that goes, and that's the thing. I don't get appointment television. Like I'm waiting for the television executives to kind of understand this new, not new, it's years old, but this whole DVR thing where you don't have to watch things as they happen. I mean, it's it's going to come about soon where they're not even going to have TV anymore. They're just going to upload things, and you're just going to watch them on at whenever you want to,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that'll be.
Thank Jinx for Netflix, Hulu, and all those sites that have everything available at your disposal.
I mean, if you really want it, I can give you a torrent link for the file whenever it's available. I mean, that's how I watch most of my things. Granted, I haven't watched a new show in 15 or 5 years or whatever. Um,
Mhm.
and American Horror Story. I hate them because every time I looked up the band Coven, it's always American Horror Story Coven. I'm like, I don't care. Give me the band Coven, and not the thrash metal band either. The real band. The
Jinx,
actually the thrash
Jinx
band Coven
mentioned,
is
go
what?
on.
What's that?
I think Jinx said, I think it was on Facebook or in an interview that they were using the name Coven without her permission, and
Well, yeah, they actually changed the name.
I think she took legal action against them.
No, she never actually did. Um, she just kind of brought it to their attention that they had the name, which amused me because they've been using it since the 80s, but whatever. I'm not going to disagree with Jinx, especially because she's the better Coven. But yeah, they changed. I think they're called like Coven 66 now or something like that.
Just a question: do you like the thrash version of Coven? Do you think they're
Yeah,
a good?
they're okay. I
But
mean,
then,
they had some great songs like McDonald Land Massacre,
huh,
Boneless Christian, and Fucking a Nun.
but there is no match for the Coven.
Of course not. I mean, if they had Jinx in there, but yeah, I mean, there were there's actually two covens that have changed their name thanks to the psychedelic rock band named Coven. But yeah, I don't think she ever took legal action. I think it was just like kind of brought to the point, which, like I said, I'm like, well,
This is
not
like, hey, dudes, my band is called Coven, so
and we
none
were
of my.
around 15 years before you ever existed. Which I'm not gonna disagree with Jinx, but I'm just saying it's been 30 years. But of course, nowadays we can get now it gets rid of the confusion because nowadays when I say Coven, you know what I mean by Coven.
Yes.
Um, yeah, whatever. I it's funny because Jinx, you tagged me in that one thing that Gene Simmons said about downloading music, and she's like, "Oh, it's the only thing I agree with Gene on." I'm like, "Hey, someone's sensible." Because if she's like, "I agree with you on everything, Gene," I'm like, "Whoa, you're a bit crazy."
And when you said that you actually agreed with Gene about the piracy and downloading, I'm like, who are you and what have you done with Mister I will bully every Kiss fan in existence for even liking him?
Well, I agree with him on some of it, but I also think that he is missing some of the picture about how as uh, Nicholas from Shining, said, and as Dan from Brutal Truth said, you know, the one thing about music piracy or free downloads is that they're making fans. Fans will go to shows and buy merchandise, and that's how bands get their money. Maybe not Dark Throne because they don't, have shows, but um, so I think to outright object to piracy isn't really looking at the big picture of things. Lars, I'm looking at you here. Um, Napster bad, money good. Oh, that was great.
I love. I wish I could go back in time and just watch all those news articles of Metallica fighting Napster all over again.
It's in some kind of monster movie.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, they didn't make any friends there. I mean, literally, no one was really on their side.
And
I mean,
Elliot, you've read more about the history of Metallica than I have. Is the Napster thing what broke the camel's back as far as their longtime fan base, or is that was that already happened with the Black album?
I think Saint Anger was the straw that broke a lot of Campbell's backs. But then again, the same people who said that were the same people who went out and bought Death Magnetic. So I don't know if Metallica really had fans that abandoned them, but
Just
I know they
people
had
that
a
like
lot of
to bitch on the
fans
internet.
who I know they had a lot of fans who don't really expect anything from them. I mean, I think there are a lot of straws that broke a lot of camel's backs. I think Master of Puppets turned some people off, and Justice turned people off. The Black Album, Load and Reload, Saint Anger. I don't really think Death Magnetic. I think Death Magnetic was either you thought it was great or you didn't care because you weren't a Metallica fan anyway and it didn't impress you, or it was okay. But I don't think it was an album that really like because they had released so many turds before. I don't really think, and of course Lulu. But I haven't really seen anybody who's like, I'm not following Metallica anymore. I've basically seen people who are like, oh, I'll still listen to it, but I'm not expecting anything anymore. That's basically the way I am about Metallica, Megadeth, and Anthrax. Of course, I don't expect anything from Anthrax anyway. Because fuck Anthrax. Scotty, and you suck.
Oh, speaking of Megadeth, I found an article on Blabbermouth that I think you might find interesting because you're into like the more extreme kinds of metal. Dave Mustaine says some metal bands have completely lost the plot when it comes down to melody.
Yeah, of course they have. That's why we like it. Read it.
It's saying Megadeth main man Dave Mustaine recently answered several fan submitted questions for Pledge Music. Check out the question and answer session below. Speaking about where Megadeth's upcoming album Dystopia fits in the band's catalog in terms of melody and overall aggression, Mustaine says, well, there is some melody. It's not overwhelming in the melody department. He continued, I think some metal bands have completely lost the plot when it comes down to melody and it's all about aggressiveness and trying to hack up a fishbone. So for me, I still try and sing.
Well, that's good, and that's why you're called a relic, Davey. That's
And
why
I
Peace Cells never really did anything for me.
and I think that being in drop D tuning has made it a little harder for us to keep the melody stuff going because some of the articulation of the picking when it's tuned down that low, you can't really make out the notes. It certainly isn't as bad as being in C tuning as something like that. And I still think my right hand is fully functioning. My left hand was injured in surgery, and that one seems to be working pretty well as well.
He's talking about masturbation.
Shut up. And he was asked why the name dystopia, and he said, I've had this outlook for a long time that the world is a really good place with bad people in it. Others might think the opposite, but I think if you were to take a consensus of people, they would know the difference between right and wrong. People have manners and morals, but lately there's been a decline in how people treat each other. That's where dystopia comes in, and if people don't start loving each other and helping those in need, then that becomes more important than power, fame, and money. I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, says the. Never mind. Anyway, I mean, the thing about melody, I mean, yeah, melody's cool and all, but I like aggression. I like evil. I mean, that's why I like Slayer, because Slayer had some dissonant melodies and stuff, but they also had shredding thrash that paved the way for more extreme thrash and more extreme, death and things like that. Yeah, melody's cool, but as far as that goes, I like grindcore. So, Dave, the real reason, and by the way, the reason they're down tuned is because Dave's voice can't take the high notes anymore. That's the reason why they're down tuned to whatever they're down tuned to, is because Davey can't take the high notes. But yeah, Dave and his melody, fuck off. Shut up, carrot head.
Carrot head.
Yeah, Dave Mustaine, whatever. He's he's pretty much been a has been since before Countdown to Extinction was released. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like melody, I like the NWOBHM too, but I can't write a song with melody. I mean, maybe a bit like a black metal song, but I can't sing with melody. I'm absolutely not a melodic singer, so I'm definitely more of a shrieker slash growler metal guy thing. That's always who I've been, and I'm proud of it. I like being, but yeah, you go right ahead and write with melody. You go right ahead with melody and talk about how they're putting people in a FEMA concentration camp, and I'll write songs about you know
Obama.
raping drugs and injecting women. Wait, what? Oh, all the way around. Eh, so yay, goat,
Goat.
kiss the goat.
Yes. Kiss the goat.
It's always cool to see Coven written up somewhere. I have two books about black metal. They both feature Coven in passing.
I
But
found it very, very cool when since Coven keeps getting mentioned a lot on VH1's website now when it comes to like metal or early metal, like when they were doing a contest to see which U.S. city is the most metal, they mentioned Chicago and they listed Coven as one of the reasons why Chicago is a metal city.
yeah, I only know a couple bands from that area, more punk than metal. But yeah, I mean, I remember when I first heard about it. Like I said, it was in 2001. A book called "We Got the Neutron Bomb" came out. Story of L.A. punk rock. I discovered it shortly before I graduated or left school, and it featured Pat Smear of the Germs talking about his early forays into record collecting. He was talking about how they would he bought this quote witchcraft coven one, the totally satanic one that you could never do nowadays with the black mass on it. Well, I don't know if you could never do it nowadays if you look at the underground, but they're talking about how they would listen to the Black Mass in the dark, and I was like, Black Mass, what? And so I looked up Witchcraft Coven album, and oh look, Coven band. Looked it up. Looked up the kind of mythic, oh, she was a prominent member of this Jinx girl was a prominent member of secret societies, uh, things like that. Looking, but then I saw the genre psychedelic rock, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this because it's not metal. But I played it on, the first track, Black Sabbath, came on. It was just like, wow, this is really, good. It still took me a couple months to get into the non-satanic, stuff.
I'm looking up Pat Smear right now.
Um,
So yeah, he was in the Germs, and that's all he's famous for. Wink, wink.
Yes, we're not talking about the other things because they don't count. Because fuck the Foo Fighters. Seriously, I mean, Dave Grohl keeps saying how much of a punk rocker he is, and yet I'm like, how could you be a punk and be in the Foo Fighters? That's just not something I can understand. Have you heard his metal band before?
Which one? Them crooked vultures?
No, Dave Grohl's metal band.
No, I'm trying to think which one that was.
There was a stoner band with like a bunch of guests. Kronos from Venom, King Diamond was on it. Uh, yeah, a
I'm
lot of
scrolling through his page right now.
cool people were on that band. But I listened to his heavy metal album, and I was just like, it was just lame. Like I get what he was trying to do, but it was just like, yeah, this is. No, I can't remember what the name of it was.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't Dane Bramage because that's punk rock, and he says this is a heavy metal band.
I didn't know he was in a punk rock band. Yeah, he's name the bands he was in.
Okay, he was in Mission Impossible, Dane
No,
Bramage, Scream. Of course, he was with Nirvana. We all know that. He was late. Foo Fighters, Harling Talks, AD, Tenacious D, Queens of the Stone Age, Probot, them
Probot.
crooked.
That's it. Probot.
Oh yeah, he called it a death metal supernatural.
Death metal. No, I think if you go to Metal Archives and look up Probot and see what it was. Just what's the genre of Probot? I forget.
Wikipedia lists it as heavy metal, thrash metal, crossover thrash, and doom metal.
Metal Archives calls it.
Well, I'll just have to
That,
find out.
that's where I go for my metal information. I don't go to Wikipedia that well, maybe for the history, but as far as the genre, I forget what it's. Yeah, I mean, I guess he has punk rock cred, but like I said, he was in the Nirvana. And, I mean, Foo Fighters has no punk rock credibility. But
Okay, Probot says heavy stoner doom groove metal.
yeah, okay, so it's a metal band. Yeah, no, there's no death metal in it. I mean, it was all right, but it was just uninspired. But yeah, Dave Grohl, it's funny he talks about being this punk rock guy, but yet, I mean, I tried to get into Nirvana because people kept talking about how Nirvana's not like your average grunge band. They're like different. And so I tried listening to Nirvana, and they sucked. Pretty damn terrible.
I really think that Jinx Dawson needs to be listed on the metal archive.
We're campaigning. We're campaigning.
Have you talked
Don't
to the
worry.
guy that runs the website?
What?
Have you talked to the guy that runs the website?
No, but we're campaigning to get Covenant Metal Archive. It'll happen. I mean, if we got Motley Crue on Metal Archives, if we
Or Jeff?
got yeah, or there's another band that I was like, what the hell are they doing there? I can't remember who it is. Oh, Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get Covenant on eventually.
Mhm.
I mean, I think they may not have been metal in sound, but I think they were part of. I think they're part of the metal scene. I think they
Like we
created a
said,
lot of.
they helped originate a lot of the imagery and feel of what people associate with metal.
Yep, and then Dio stole it
Hmm.
because he's a Christian twat. Oh, I invented the horns. No, you didn't. You didn't, and that's why you're dead, Dio. Because you lied to me. That's why Jinx has outlived you. I mean, hell, Jinx is, apparently she had a heart attack and was DOA when she arrived at the hospital. So, hey, did you see that forum post where everyone's like, "Yeah, fuck Jinx, dogs."
Oh yeah, hold on. I'm trying to think of what was written in that. Let me go pull that thing up.
Oh no, don't. It was retarded. They don't deserve our scorn.
Okay, fine.
I
So
tried to
yeah, they
post.
were like they called her like the mamas and the papas with satanic lyrics and
Well,
stuff. Yeah,
they're idiots.
and Jinx will always have the last laugh.
True. I mean, some anonymous internet people don't like her. Who cares? I mean, I've been turning a lot of people onto Coven. I've people, you know, who's Coven, and I'm just like, just sit back here, son
And
or
relax
daughter.
and let the music take you away.
Yep. And then usually when I play them Nightingale, they're like, "You like this?" And they're like, "It's not a bad song, but I'm just surprised you like this." I'm like, "Yeah, I was surprised too. I was so surprised I listened to the song 4 times in a row." No, seriously. The first time I heard the
I'm
song,
go
the,
on.
the first time I heard the song, was in a car, and I was so surprised when I was hearing it that I liked it. I listened to it again and again and again. I was like, I mean, I
When I
knew they
first
had gone. Yeah, I showed you as soon as I got home.
yeah, when I first heard Nightingale, like my mind was blown. It's like this is Coven. And then of course I heard the I think it was I heard the one on Coven's YouTube, which was like mixed a different way. And then I heard the original mix with the orchestration, and I'm all like, hot damn.
Yeah, the Coven YouTube one is a little more raw, isn't it?
Yeah, but I have to say I like the as much. No disrespect to the Coven's YouTube page, but I like the one that I found with the orchestrations, like the mixings on that tuned up.
Yeah, that's the one on the album, I think. And then I heard the one they did for the movie, and I was astounded by that one. Um, and then because of course I'd already heard the Witchcraft album many times, but I was still kind of hesitant to hear the later you know more conventional stuff. But and then when I heard the albums, I was surprised about how much they switched genres between rock, proto metal, disco, whatever the hell Starcrossed is.
Jinx even said that she hates having her music labeled, and she doesn't care about labels or genres. She'll just like whatever is in her brain, she'll just let it out all out in the songs.
Well, having heard the Coven discography, I can completely understand. I don't know what the fuck to label Coven. I mean,
I'll just label them
psychedelic
rock.
rock.
I'll just label them rock.
I mean, if they must have a label, I guess psychedelic, because they just fucking switch genres. I mean, their last album, Jinx. Let's see, the intro was an intro. Out of Luck was a doom metal song. Danger Juju Goat was a dance song. You had industrial metal. You had thrash metal. You had whatever the hell Black Swan is. Just good old rock. You know, if I was being uncharitable, I could say the reason they didn't get mainstream success is because they were just a little too different for everyone because they would switch genres all the time. However, I can't say they've ever really had a bad song. Some of the songs on Return of the Vault don't sound very good because of the recording quality, or Out of the Vault, excuse me, Return of the Metal Goth Queen, because they weren't recorded very well. But yeah, I don't think they've ever really had a bad song, which is amazing. They could write. I mean, I like a disco song. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But that's a good song, and I like their weird industrial metal exploits. Yeah, I wouldn't want. I see. A lot of times when bands say, "Oh, I don't like to be labeled," I'm like, "Yeah, but you can easily be fit into a label. Like Black Sabbath is metal, Motorhead's heavy metal." Sorry, Lemmy. Face it, you're a metal band. But with Coven, I can't label them honestly. Music, you know, they're one of the few bands who really defies being labeled. As cliche as that sounds, you know. Yes, you are talking to the number one Coven fanboy.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I just I mean, if I could find every unreleased Coven track, that would be sweet. We need to dig up Heaven Can Help and have it screened. That's what we need to do. When's that book coming out? Come on. I want to sell that book on the show.
Yeah, just like call a toll free number and order your copy of Jinx's new book.
Yeah. All proceeds don't go to me. All proceeds go to her. Well, hell, if she releases a new album, I'll post the link in the description to buy it. So yeah, I want to make PTR T-shirts. That's one of the things I really do want to do is make PTR T-shirts. I mean, I figure no one will buy it, but I figure we can send it to anyone who's ever been on the show.
Okay, we'll send. We'll have to remember exactly everybody who we put on this show.
Well, everyone cool.
Hmm.
So like we send, I mean, I figure we can make about 25 of them. So to see if they, people like them and send it to all, all our friends, and maybe I can sell a couple. Buy my shirt. Why? Just do it.
Just do it because you are a capitalist.
Do it so I can invest in political trendy radio, wine coffins, and diecast funny cars.
You asshole.
Yes, diecast funny cars of all the people. Like I saw at fucking Virgin Records. I think it was either Virgin or Amoeba that I think it was Virgin that I saw this at. It was they had a Gene Simmons one and a Peter Criss one. I was like, they've never raced a day in their life.
And we're trying our hardest to forget where when Gene was a part of Indy Cars.
And they like to I as they sponsored Tyler. Well, no, that was a shit series. They sponsored Tyler Walker and Jeremy Mayfield in NASCAR, both of whom have been linked to using drugs and being arrested. Tyler Walker's led people on a high-speed chase. So uh, Kiss really has good taste in who they sponsor.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Bob Ezrin, several of the band members.
Bob Ezrin. I didn't like Metallica till the fifth album. I wonder why, Bob. Oh, because it was so crappy you'd even like it. Ugh. And I read that book too. Bang Your Head: The Rise and Fall of Heavy Metal. Because metal fell if you pay attention to the mainstream.
Oh yeah, I love how you said once I thought that they were done with all the glam shite and they were about to get into real metal, they start wanking off to GNR and talking about how grunge bands killed metal.
And then once they got done with that, the book was over. Guns N' Roses was a weird one because they came around later,
Yeah.
and you'd think they would have more of a harder sound. But listening to them, I'm like, this is the same shite they've done before. I mean, Guns N' Roses maybe could have been an okay band, but I hated Axl Rose's voice.
hmm You know, if the reunion tour actually does happen, I cannot wait to have them back in all their glory. And maybe when I go to the show, Axl Rose will take hours to decide whether or not he wants to come on stage. He'll come on stage at a quarter to midnight. He'll sing like maybe one or two songs and then get mad, throw his microphone on stage, and walk off. Like the
And,
good old days.
no, no, no. What'll happen is he'll come on stage and go, "I'm Dr. Roxo, the rock and roll clown. I do cocaine."
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, the first time I heard Airborne, that's what I thought the singer was gonna say, because he had that voice.
I do cocaine.
I seriously do a lot of cocaine. Wait a minute, someone's out of tune.
You know what? I'm surprised that they never worked in Axl Rose's rants in a Dr. Rock, so like him storming off the stage.
That wouldn't have been funny. I mean, his whole personality was pretty much there. I mean, it was more than just Axl Rose. It was also, it was every shitty, 80s singer of that ilk
hmm
with the annoying voice. Just, oh, fuck. Yeah, he's gonna come on. He'll come on and talk about how, yeah, fuck you, Axl Rose. I mean, Buckethead was the best guitarist they ever had.
hmm And and Axl Rose shared his Dr. Pepper with Buckethead for appearing on Chinese Democracy, the thing that took forever to come. The album, not actual democracy in China.
Yeah, I remember. I remember 2006. I was hearing about it when I first got into Buckethead, and I was like, they were like, "Oh, the album finally came out." I was like, "What?"
We are
Not that I.
getting we are so getting arrested for making that joke.
Why?
I don't know because democracy in China.
That's not even a. That's not even offensive. No, they should have called it Chinese ban on dog eating. Now that's something that took forever. I don't really want to eat the dog now that it's my pet. There's actually a news story on this, and they showed a picture of, then they showed a news thing of people eating some dogs. Yes, go to sleep with that in your head, bitch. Yeah. Oh yeah, Buckethead. I heard a live performance with him on Guns N' Roses. Well, it was only the instrumental track because I couldn't stand Axl Rose's voice. But
Oh
there's
yeah, how he mixed out his voice on Pro Tools.
no, I mean there was an instrumental track there that I just downloaded
hmm
because I can't stand the guy's voice at all. Then there's a lot of metal voices or hard rock voices I can't stand. What else? I guess, yeah, there. That's fuck Guns N' Roses and fuck Limp Bizkit. They suck. They suck. And so do you.
And so do you.
No, I am great. Says the person who says that I'm great. Wednesday.
Wednesday, I have to go in a little bit to start watching Horror Story, the reruns.
Aww.
But like you said, the executives in charge of channels have not quite grasped the concept of DVR yet.
Well, or yeah, or torrents or things like that. But I always thought American Horror Story needed more comedy. I mean, I've never, I'm of the opinion that I think drama is kind of stupid. I mean, if someone can't see the humor in any of this, like I'm one of the people who would be like, zombies are attacking Apple customers. Ah,
Haha.
zombies are attacking Walmart shoppers.
Ah!
Kiss fans.
Oh, shut up.
Me, bank machine.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm Gene Simmons. When I get done watching child pornography and counting my money, I listen to political trendy radio.
We're starting that again. Oh, hold on. What's a good one? Hi, I'm Peter Chris. When I'm not shooting people and fantasizing about shooting Gene Simmons, or when I'm not complaining about how they screwed me over and cheated me out of money just because they were jealous of my singing skills, I watch political trendy radio.
Peter Chris reminds me of an insane redneck.
Well, he is heavily religious and he loves his guns.
And he shoots things.
Oh yeah, I told you the story about how he was staying at Gene's house one night for Christmas, and an actor came out on the show that they were watching that made passes at his wife, and Peter got really pissed off and pulled out, I think, a 45 round gun and started just shooting at Gene's TV
Wait, why did he shoot Gene's TV?
because an actor who made passes at Peter Chris's wife came out on screen, and that pissed him off.
If you shoot up my TV, I might kick you out of the house. And then there's brain damaged Ace Frehley.
Yeah,
I
and
heard
then
his solo stuff. I'm convinced he's brain damaged.
Ace Frehley. I love his guitar work and his singing.
What the hell was up with that song, though? You should have stayed in the dirt.
I have no. But he's talking about how he came from outer space and how he's sick and tired of the human race.
Ace, stop it. Odorous did it better than you could. Odorous Orongus and Guar did it better than you could ever do.
Oh, and let us not forget the head honcho of Kiss Incorporated, Paul Stanley. When I'm not arguing with D. Snyder or when I'm not trying to fight off rumors that I'm gay, I listen to political trendy radio.
But it's just funny. Gene Simmons slacking off Guar. Well, they're not really character driven or character developed. And Dave was like, "What are you talking about, Simmons? We're way more character developed than Kiss out." I mean, you have to admit that at least.
Yeah, I mean, most of the songs that they wrote could have been performed in or out of the makeup. Oh, hello, Anarcha.
Yeah, whereas Guar had this whole mythos and everything. I studied the mythos for, months. When I was like 12, 13, 14, I knew the mythos by heart about how all the characters, all the villains, all the. Yeah. Kiss never really got that far.
Yeah, they they admit that they only did the makeup because one, they wanted. They said that back then a lot of bands had their own calling card as far as visual identity, and they wanted to take that a step further.
Ah, why did they do
And
the makeup again?
oh no, I'm not saying it. No, screw you, screw you.
Because Coven said no.
No, 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 that was a lie. We all know that.
It was not a lie. It's been proven. Jinx was
No,
supposed to be the cat, which was a fucking
no,
horrible
no, no.
idea.
No, actually, they were wearing the makeup, and when they had some form of the makeup when they were playing the clubs in New York.
That's completely different. That's a completely different way of putting makeup on, though. It's like comparing Slayer to glam metal. Just because Slayer wore makeup and glam metal wore makeup, it's a completely different way of putting makeup on. And I've told you, I'm convinced now that Black Sabbath got a lot of help in the occult rock thing. I mean, just looking at the various coincidences, I'm convinced that. I mean, right down to the fact that the label put the inverted cross on the record, which the band weren't very happy with. I'm convinced that Sabbath's whole occult thing was manufactured after Coven left.
Hmm.
I think Jinx is right, and I think Jinx is right about the Kiss thing too. I'm not. I'm saying that. I'm not saying that as a Kiss non-fan. I'm just saying that as someone who looks at the facts. I mean, I love Sabbath, but
And
I'm
would you
sorry.
also say that Cooper suddenly became the evil Alice Cooper after
Fuck.
observing the reaction Jinx got?
Well, it is interesting because you have to remember Cooper was hated back then.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point where walking out of an Alice Cooper show was like a badge of honor, and Coven was getting a bunch of rave reviews. So good old Christian Alice.
Get rid of the tranny makeup and slap on some
What?
black grease paint. I am now the father of everyone's nightmares.
The way she said tranny rock bands, I love that.
What's clothing CD2 free fat? What the fuck? Those are no effect songs.
Those are That's a sampler.
Oh, good
Critical,
riddance, lesser addictions on there.
critical thinking skills.
I just woke up and I had a fucking traumatic dream, so I'm kind of shaking up a bit.
The last traumatic dream I had was when I murdered two people. I love that dream.
Oh
Nothing,
fuck yes!
nothing gets to me anymore.
I got the frisbee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What are you
That's
talking
in there,
about?
but I kept coaster.
I'm gonna put both on there.
You're just wasting space because they're the same versions.
Other than the fact that creeping out Tegan is different.
Not
Looking
really.
good. Yeah, it is. It's got different words.
Yeah, I don't have the fucking space to do that. I mean, I do, but eh.
MySpace
I
transmission.
compressed everything from 320 to 256 kbs just so I can have more space. But I have about 380 NoFX songs, I think, because I don't have any of the live stuff or anything like that. And what I did was like on like the EPs, I would take the songs that were on there and I delete it from the song, and I keep the songs that were on like compilations or anything like that. So, but I have the discography. See, Eric, I'm smart. Um, oh fuck yeah, I haven't listened to NoFX in 2 hours.
Uh,
I haven't listened to it, but yeah, like I said, I'm convinced that Black Sabbath had help on the whole occult rock thing, And I think Black Widow also helped because Black Widow, their manager went off to Black Sabbath, and Black Widow, they seemed kind of bitter about that when I heard them in a documentary. They said something effective. Well, we never did the same. They never did the same thing like we did. So, but Coven will always be the best. I mean, who would you rather look at, James Dawson or
Alright.
Ozzy
If it,
Osbourne?
hey, Eric, you on there, dude?
Eric,
You on there still?
sneaky
Elliot,
guy. What?
I'll be
If you
back
want,
in a little while because my show's gonna come on right now.
I was gonna say, if you want to real quickly write on my timeline, go for it, because I'm about to close my wall. Because I'm starting to get spam from people.
Ugh.
Yesterday was my birthday, if you didn't know, but I'm about ready to close my wall down. So if you write one an awesome fucking comment on there, go for it.
I just block everyone who spams me. But then
No,
again,
it's not legitimate spam. It's literally just people in general who add me. Hey, how you doing? Like, no, message me. Don't fucking write on my wall.
you're the only one who. Well, I don't answer those questions. I leave my wall. Like whenever Richard wrote on my wall all the time, I just left it blank. I don't care. I have too many things to worry about than what people think of me. I cherish about 5 people in my life. I can't think of who about 4 of those people are, and I'm one of them. Uh, and the other can fuck off. Everyone else can fuck off. I've been up since 6 in the morning and I'm not feeling well, so shut up. I don't know why I'm doing this fucking show. I don't. Fuck you. I'm gonna fuck you, Annika. Oh, that's Annika. He's a dick.
Sorry, I'm having a thunderstorm in my mind right now. Can't really concentrate on fucking
A
anything.
thunderstorm in my mind. I hate it when I have thunderstorms in my mind, especially when the high winds come along, because that
Yeah,
really
man,
fucks up the power lines in my mind.
it does. It
Of
makes it
course,
hard to think straight.
I've been wanting to embed the power lines of my mind into the concrete in my mind, but that's just a major construction job. I just don't have the mine money for that.
267 more.
267 more what?
Uh, happy birthday wishes to
Uh,
reply to.
I got maybe 60. Yeah, I don't know why you reply to them. Just like them, or just leave them.
Because if as because unlike your and Jim's thoughts, in my opinion, if they take time out of the day to say it to me, I'm gonna take the time out of my day to reply. That's the
My
trouble.
thought.
That's hold on. This is gonna be the death of me when I'm bigger on YouTube. I'm that person who will reply to every comment, and when I have 10,000 subscribers, that's gonna fuck me real hard.
My
Or
thought is, if they say something other than "Happy Birthday," like if they just put "Happy Birthday," basically I feel, well, you could have just copy and pasted. There's no real reason for me to. I comment or like if it's something actually creative or weird. But yeah, they're just put "Happy Birthday." I'm just like, whatever, thanks, whatever. I just put a poster generic thank you because I just don't care about. I reply to things. I go for quality, not quantity. I reply to things that are worthy of being replied to rather than just things that are there. Because unlike you, Anarcha, I have an active distaste and disdain for humanity. If you haven't noticed that yet, I'm sure that shocked you.
I don't really care.
I'm sure that shocked a bunch of people here. All the viewers. What? Elliot hates humanity? When did that happen?
According to Google Analytics, your channel is getting about 300 to 500 viewers for every per week, but people are watching PTR episodes, but they're not hitting the subscribe button. I guess.
Whatever.
Don't. I'm pushing it out there. There's about, as of right now, due to it's free, there's about 20 PTR ads streaming across YouTube and Google and Amazon.
Yeah.
but that's the best I can fucking do. I can't force them to subscribe.
Yes, you can. Go down to their house, hold them at knife point until they come, until they put, hit the goddamn button. Hit the goddamn button. I don't even know. Hit the goddamn button.
It's no worse than what a fucking friend of mine does. And his videos, this is how he ends up. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like this video, and hey, see that little ad right there that you just you better not fucking have ad block on, but see that fucking ad? You need to click that ad and give me free money. Because I don't want to work a regular job. That's how he ends every video, and that's how he's done it for years now.
Please give me his Facebook account. I want to message him with, I
No,
have ad block. Suck it, bitch.
no, he doesn't have Facebook. People legitimately actually hit the ads because he tells them to.
I wouldn't. I would
But
actually leave, I would leave a comment saying, I'm using ad block. I'm using ad block.
he'd be like, oh, that's cool. Hit your own bitch.
Whatever. I don't care. Hey, I want people to give me free money, and I fully support you people using ad block. So
That's just funny as fuck. I was like, that works. He's like, oh, Eric did leave a fucking thing on there.
whatever. If people don't want to use ad block, if people want to watch the ads, watch the ads. If you want to
What's
use
kind of
ad block and you
funny
don't want to
is
watch the ads, then don't watch the ads.
I actually do end up watching many ads, especially if they're about like new movies coming out or new things coming out. I like earlier I was at my friend's house and we were about ready to watch a No Effects show live, and there's an ad in front of me. He's like, "Skip it." I'm like, "No, it looks like a horror film." He's like, "You actually watch these?" I'm like, "Yeah, at times I do. It keeps me informed on new movies and shit coming out. Maybe I'm interested, maybe I'm not." Like if the movie ad was 3 minutes long, I'm like 30 seconds in, I can generally tell, okay, this is looking shitty. Which the movie that I saw was called Campfire, and I'm like, ah, that's a shitty fucking name. But yeah, I generally do watch ads because I like movies. I like anime series and all that.
I
And
don't watch movies, so I mean, I hear it through the grapevine about movies that I might like or whatever, new albums or whatever. But yeah, I do it through the grapevine. I basically Americans are too obsessed with ads, so um, I've been spoiled by Europeans who have like full races with no ads. So I'm like, well, hell, why do they get it and I don't get it? I want to be like them. So
oh, I learned something. Did you
screw you,
know?
America.
Did you know that the YouTube in Japan, China, and I think part of Thailand or whatever, across Asia, the YouTube over there does not act. It's the old school YouTube. There are no ads, and I've been told that parts of Europe also have the old school YouTube. America, Canada, and like 5 other countries have the YouTube that you and I know,
Well, and it's
and that's
you
bullshit.
mean you mean that because I haven't had that YouTube in about a year.
No, what I mean, no, like the one that you and I are currently, the one that you're currently using right now, the one without ads, like the old school system where you just type in a video and you watch it.
Yeah, I know that's the one I'm using
Yeah, no,
because
that's
I use
the
ad block.
that you're using. I guess I'm over in a lot of Asian countries and
I know what
Europe,
you mean. I'm just giving you. Actually, no, I haven't seen an ad on YouTube in about 18 months now.
but that's because you use AdBlock though. But
Yeah,
this,
but I mean that's not the only reason why I use AdBlock. I also use it for Facebook and everything else. So, but I'm just saying. I mean that is cool, but I mean you can easily get around the problem. I don't feel any moral obligation to use AdBlock or not because
I use it because it keeps us. I go to a lot of torrent sites and unofficial fan sites for anime and shit, and it keeps all those vicious fucking spyware ads from popping up and downloading shit to my computer.
they're great, aren't they? Ad
Those
blocks.
those are that is the number one, and I've told people this. I'm like, call me a hypocrite for using the software, but I can go to Meet Me, I can go to Kiss Anime, I can go to so many websites to watch shows and all that I can't afford to buy, and instead of having to, you know how some of them fucking ads they shake a little bit and you have to be precise when you fucking click on them to close them. I like the
No,
fact that ad
actually,
block. Well, okay, I know you can't, but there's a lot of ads that you literally that when they pop up really fast and you have like 2 seconds to click out of them or else they download something on your computer. I like how ad block makes it to where those can't pop up at all. That's pretty fucking awesome.
I mean, I don't really have any moral uh problem with using ad block on YouTube
That was the
because
ultimate
I'm
virus
one
protector.
person. I'm one person. And okay, so you don't get money from me, but you get a subscriber. Ultimately, you get a fan, and you get support, and you get what? You don't get a penny from me. Big deal. Um, you know, if people are that obsessed by it, might I recommend getting a real fucking job?
You
I mean,
speak
I'm doing this for the pure love of it.
do you speak Spanish?
No.
Let's see. Datas en uno que no podemos escuchar juego y como se trata de modelo. Oh no, fuck it, I can't speak Spanish. I'm just gonna like it
That's
and type
someone
English.
saying that the monkey has no pajamas.
Y muto vom foto faz parte.
Wait. Wait, is someone sending that to you?
No, that's a birthday. There are dates in the year that we must not
Dude,
forget.
I
Today is
have an
the
idea. I have an idea. I have an idea. Shh, I have an
what?
idea. On the comment, on the comment section, write these words: "Speak English or die."
No, because this is an
Oh, come on.
this is a Google Translate option. There are dates.
That's what I do. That's what I do whenever somebody like speaks Spanish or
I
whatever.
wouldn't. I'm
And it's
not.
not to be a racist. It's just to be because I love the fucking album. Speak English or die.
The orbit Hanukkah. I love that. I love Mike, Mighty Mike T. He's awesome.
Who?
My brother Mike T. Mike Autry.
He's whatever.
He's cool as fuck.
He's okay, I guess.
Can't wait to officially meet you in person.
Can't wait to officially rub your butthole. But yeah, that's what I do whenever somebody does that. But that's just because I'm an asshole. I just don't care anymore. I mean, people. I don't know. I have long given away from you know being the kind of like you in the past. Well, I don't want to do that because that helps people. I don't want to not do that because that too.
You mean
Eh,
hurts people?
this makes my life easier.
You
No,
just said I,
like
you just said I don't want to do that because it helps people. I like
no,
people.
no, it hurts people. I want to do this because it helps people. I'll sacrifice, but now I'm just like, makes my life easier. I don't care anymore.
The only viewpoint that me and my previous self share is I don't want to I don't want to if there is no like you and Jim will make a nasty comment to somebody like you'll mock them. I personally find no inner logic in trashing on somebody, so I won't do that. But at the same time, the Tumblr liberal in me, that person has fucking died. I'll just say it that way. The
The
Tumblr,
logic in trashing somebody is it's fun.
there's no inner logic in that though.
I get pleasure in it. I get pleasure in ripping people down. But most of the people, unless they're celebrities and they're just fun to make fun of, but most of the people I rip on Facebook, I leave my one nasty comment and walk away. I don't respond or anything else because there's just no point in it. I said what I said. If you don't like it, well, go jump off a bridge. But I don't get any. I don't get any logic in people like responding to people and why did you say that? It's because I could deal with it. But yeah, pretty much the only quote inner logic quote is that I think it's fun. I think it's fun to make fun of people. I would like it if this world just exploded with chaos and everyone treated the old treat others how you want to be treated. Well, I'm treating others how I want to be treated, with scorn and derision, or to be worshipped.
Good.
But yeah, fucking treat others how you want to be treated. No, I'll treat you how you deserve to be treated. You treat me
The
how I
only
deserve
reason
to
I
be
do
treated.
agree with that is because it, like, for instance, put it on a global scale. If certain extremist groups treated others the way they want to be treated, Paris wouldn't have happened. All that shit wouldn't happen.
No, it would have. They don't care. And, whatever. Fuck everyone. We should have stuff like that happen every day, everywhere we go.
No,
People
we
just getting
shouldn't.
bombed and shot.
No,
The whole world ends.
that's fucking terrible.
I would love it. The world ends.
No. I can just imagine if I said Richard on my friends list, he'd be spamming happy birthday. Dude, just say it once or accidentally say it twice like some people have done. There's no need to say it 90 fucking times. I can just fucking see that right now.
I don't say it once.
You,
Um,
you didn't say no effects said it in the most beautiful way possible.
See, that's proof that the Tumblr liberal in you hasn't already died.
No,
Hasn't died yet.
I didn't say it completely right.
Because
It's
you
changed.
haven't embraced destruction in
Well,
the
I don't want to
scale
embrace
I have.
destruction. It's kind of stupid actually, kind of a dull mindset.
And why is it stupid?
Because it doesn't benefit anybody other than yourself, and I
Thank you.
don't want to. I think that's retarded, honestly.
I don't really care about anyone else, to be honest.
Oh, I do.
I think, I mean, I care about
Even
maybe
my,
five people.
even my original asinine self, the one that's similar to how you and Jim think, did put others first.
I put
No,
myself first because we've got one life to live. And I don't want to live it making concessions for other people. I want to live it being an individual and being me. I don't want to live it, you know, fuck other. I have maybe six people I care about in my life.
iTunes just fucking died. God damn it. To finish installing software, you must restart your computer. Click yes. No.
Yeah, I
I
don't install it. I haven't installed an update in 2 years.
son of a bitch, iTunes.
You can you can just say don't download.
No, I have to because for some fucking reason, every time I plug my iPad into it and it syncs up, all my album art is erased.
Oh,
And I
I
kind
know.
of have fake OCD, so it bothers the hell out of me.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I got one life to live, so I don't want to, live it being a fucking. Oh, you go first. Oh, you go first. Fuck that. I could be dead in an hour.
People tell me that once I'm even bigger than I am on the internet, that I'll stop having that mentality because people will take advantage of it. I already
Well,
kind of
yeah,
do. I already
that's why
do.
I
I
that's
already
why
do it.
I fucking stopped having that mentality. I mean, especially if you're blind. If you're blind, people are gonna fucking look at you like you're a fucking walking target. So you have to get tough. If you don't get tough, then yeah, people are gonna walk all over you. Especially like I said, when people perceive you as being weaker. So yes, part of my thing is a reaction against that, and yes, I freely admit that. And you can judge me as much as you want as being, you know, evil or whatever. But you know, in my situation, I think I'm justified.
Kind of
Fuck you.
justified.
Fuck you if you
Kind of,
disagree with me. Go
kind of
stick your
justified
head in the tar.
regardless of whatever you do.
But like I said, five people, six people in my life that I don't want to kill. Everyone else,
I'm
eh,
not even gonna fucking ask who they are.
good because I maybe know four. I couldn't actually put him in a list.
I don't really care who they are. Waiting for sync to start. Please just work. I just need 45 and 46 in the Surfer EP on that. Wait. Actually, don't sync just yet. I have some other albums spawn there. Stop, iTunes. No!
Well, don't
Damn it.
connect your thing yet, doofus.
Too late now.
Well,
When I first wake up, there is no inner logic.
is there any
I
outer
love how I
logic?
say that to people and they're like, inner logic. I'm like, God damn it. Shut up, you non-bad religion fanboy.
See, what I do is I have it set that says prevent devices from syncing automatically to this computer. And I said yes, so I have to manually sync it
Maxim motherfucking rock and motherfucking roll and motherfucking.
because I'm what you call smart.
Did you hear? Have you heard Pennywise live at the Key Club? And
Nah,
I'm asking for a
no,
reason.
I know about it, but I've never heard it.
There's a point when they're. I don't know if it's when they play Fuck Authority, but there's a point in one of their songs when Fletcher goes, Penny. They're like, we are penny fucking wise. You have to say fucking after every fucking word, like penny fucking wise. This place fucking sucks. It's like saying fucking before after every fucking word sounds so much fucking better, and it fucking pisses people the fuck off.
Man, Chaotic Discord did that back in 1982.
I'm like, why do you do this for? You're so unoriginal.
Yeah, Chaotic Discord did that in 1982. Of course, everyone knew they were a joke band, so they were actually excused. But
The only thing that really bothers me about Pennywise is, unlike with Bad Religion, No Effects, and the Vandals in them, I mean, not their older stuff. Pennywise older stuff is fucking awesome, but a lot of their newer shit, I'm just like, Bad Religion said this a couple years ago. You're kind of Jim Lindenberg should have never said in those interviews that he's in it for he should have never mentioned how much Pennywise makes, because I'm just like, oh, you're just in it for the money now. Like I no longer I mean I can take Fuck Authority serious, but at the same time I can't, because I'm like, I just feel as if you don't mean what you say. I feel as if you just wrote this because that's punk as fuck. But DOA and LA's Wasted Youth said it so much better than you did.
and Gigi Allen,
Uh, oh yeah, him too.
who
Even
was
Bad
more
Religion
punk
said
than
fuck.
all of them.
Even Bad Religion said it better.
Well, I mean, my Pennywise never really appealed to me. I mean, when I was like 12 or 13, yeah, but nowadays it's just
By the way,
I listen to them and I'm just
to
like,
get on me and you fucking say Green Day, I don't like Green Day. Just letting you know that.
I listened to 1,000 Hours, the first EP from '89, because people were like, "Well, they used to be good." And I was like, "That I don't remember them being good. They weren't."
I don't
But
like them either. Really, they
the
with
Vandals, the Vandals had a couple good songs, but they always reminded like they were just never really my thing. I was always like, there's other bands out there that I could
we're
be
all
listening to.
living on white bread.
I mean,
We're all
there's
living on. Oh, that's
Anarchy Burger and a couple others that are funny, but I'm like,
the peanut butter stick stuck on this. I used to have all these sevens until something stolen from me.
yeah. The
When I move to LA, I'm gonna go to a record store and I'm gonna buy them all back. I'm even gonna spend $400 on HO effects, which oh, you have it on here. Oh my god.
have
People are like,
fun.
why do you need them all for? Because there's even it's like some songs have like a different instrumental and parts. I have fake OCD, so that like means a lot to me. Like you are
Yeah,
so
as long
fucking
as I
dumb.
have them on digital, I just don't. I mean, if I get them for like $10 or less, but I don't.
Sometimes I think of
I
places I don't want to go, but I think of
I
all
have
days I
OCD to the point where
don't
I need all the
want
songs,
people.
but
I want to sleep. I
I don't have
close
OCD
my
to the
eyes and
point
I
where I
cry
need
from the
them
sheets.
on. I don't have OCD to the point where I need them on vinyl because that just runs
I
into money, which I don't have.
I remember back when I had all these albums and I bought Don't Call Me White 7 inch. I was at Love Garden Sounds with my friend Chad, and we walked in there. We saw it on the shelf for $30. He's like, "Don't do it, don't do it." I picked it up on a. He's like, "I can't fucking believe you just spent $30 on it." I'm like, "Dude, it's no longer in session." He's like, "God damn." He's like, "I
Yeah,
this was back when
I used to do that, but
this
then
was
I
back when I
would
was
get
made of
home and
money."
play it.
This is back when I was made of
Yeah,
money. And he's all like, I can't. He's like, you're the only person I know that'll spend outrageous amounts of money on records. I'm like, Dude, I have to complete the collection. It's incomplete. The decline.
Yeah,
Why isn't okay? Why isn't the other version of Clams Have Feelings 2 on there for?
it
If it's
is.
incomplete.
There's a
Yeah, let's
declined
see.
album and a
Oh,
declined vinyl.
is it are both of the declines different?
No, they're the same thing. It's just one has clams, one doesn't.
Then
The
I'm gonna delete one.
CD version is better than the vinyl, though. But I suggest getting rid of the declined vinyl, but keeping the clams. So get rid of the one song, but keep the other, but keep the declined CD. That's what I do. Is I basically cherry pick, like let's say Surfer. Okay, all the songs on Surfer are on 45, 46 songs except the one song. So I'll get rid of all the songs except that one song. I can't remember which song it was, and I'll keep the songs on 45, 46 songs because they're better versions, uh,
Timmy the
better quality.
Turtle.
Yeah.
I
Um,
remember that was the one NoFX song that I played in high school that didn't get me in any sort of trouble at
no
all.
effects. No effects never got me in any sort of trouble because then I
Oh,
played D.G. Allen.
they got me in a shitload of trouble. I did a project on religion and society, and I played Best God in Show because I'm like, if I play Blasphemy, which you know what's funny as fuck? Okay, I've had a religious person say this. No effects' Best God in Show is so much more offensive than Blasphemy. Because in Best God and Show, they actually make a lot of rational sense. Whereas Blasphemy, they're just mocking. Thank you. That's what I thought all along.
I don't know if it's offensive. Blasphemy is actually more offensive. Best God in Show is just a
Rational.
little more rational. I'd say blasphemy is more offensive for the sake of being
No.
offensive. Which the first time I ever heard that song, I was like, chuckle. But when I heard Best God in Show, I was like, okay, that's actually making a point. Whereas blasphemy just it blasphemy sounds like Fat Mike was just in kind of a bad mood. It's like, okay, we get it. But no, I got in
I've
trouble because I posted "Kill the
regaining
Christian."
consciousness.
I posted "Kill the Christian" by Deicide. That's the one that got me in trouble. Because you have to remember,
I
I was
do.
into more than
I used to have a music appreciation class, and dude, I'm gonna just let you know right now. I every now and then when I listen to new bands, I'm like, damn, I wish I would have played this back then. I would have pissed off so many motherfuckers.
yeah,
Like
I pretty much
Antichrist Demon Core, We Kill Christians. I'm like, damn, can I just go back to 2011, just periodically, just to play this fucking song? Just to, oh my god.
that's why I was more
Uh,
superior than you because I knew the song back then. Ha 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 ha.
well, I've been listening to NoFX a lot longer than you have, so.
When have you started listening to NoFX?
December 31st, 1999.
Uh, what song? Whatever. I don't
I
really
already told
care.
you, Murder the Government.
Uh, yeah, whatever. Well, yeah, because especially because I spent from November of last year till maybe June of this year not listening to NoFX because I deleted them off my iPod to make room for some
Oh,
more
it's called the
Slam.
Hardcore album. Cool. I
Yeah,
did not know that,
that
man.
album was very hit and miss for me. Some of it, I like the Rebel Truth cover. Didn't care for the Urban Waste one.
My
Agnostic
stepdad's
Front,
a
they slowed
cop.
it down.
Okay, the one pop song that I will always say is a pop song is my stepdad's a cop and my stepmom's a dom. They wrote that even sound. They didn't even fucking cuss in that one.
No, I'd say there's more pop songs. Leave It Alone.
Ronnie and Max is good.
A
I
couple
love
others,
how when
but
I saw them live, like, all right, so this next one is for the '80s. You know how everybody hates Ronald Reagan? Well, yeah, fuck Ronald Reagan. I'm like, you guys. I almost wonder. I wonder if I almost started to wonder. Ooh, live at the Bizarre Festival in Deutschland.
yeah, I deleted all the
That's
live stuff. Don't
I'm
have enough room.
I'm
That's
dude.
basically what I do, unless I find a magical recording. But I remember listening to the self-entitled album. I was like, this guitar tone is pissing me off. I hate the guitar tone of the album. It's not a
Split.
bad album, but it's just so clean. Um, But yeah, okay. So we had to do a musical appreciation thing where we had to do two
BYO
slow.
split. Oh fuck! I remember this album. I bought. I don't. Okay, I don't like
What album?
Rancid.
Let me.
BYO split with Rancid. I'm just gonna let you know. I cannot stand listening to Rancid. I
Whatever.
don't know. I
Don't really.
don't know why. I just can't stand that band. They piss me off so much whenever I hear his fucking voice. I just want to strangle
I could tell
myself.
you why, but anyway, back to my story.
No, what do you think the reason is for why? Because I really can't explain it. I just
Because
don't
the
like
guy
the music.
just has an annoying voice. I mean, what's more to explain?
Yes. Like, oh my god,
See, to
stop
me,
it,
it's not that. To me, it's his lyrics.
Tim!
So
You're terrible
here's
singer.
well, it's punk. What the fuck? No, here's Tim Armstrong's lyrics. Here's him talking about loss. Take the 43 freeway out and take a trip to Hammond Street. And I was like, dude, you're talking about like every time he sings, he has to talk about like his friends or something. I'm like, dude, the song's about a carrot. What are you talking about your friends for? He just has the most random lyrics in the world. Yeah, Rants, I don't care for them. Whatever. Operation Ivy. You like Operation Ivy though. So
Operation Knives good.
yeah, but the
I
guy
hate how
was.
they're the band that inspired Green Day.
But
Like,
you know,
no.
Operation Ivy is the Tim and Matt from Rancid. But Matt's the Matt sing or Tim is the guy you can't stand. But back in the old days, he had an okay voice, I guess. He sang on like Bad Town, things like that.
What was it? Honestly, like some of Rancid's older stuff I can listen to, but anymore, I just don't like him. And No Effects does this a little bit on Self Entitled, which kind of annoys me. Bad Religion does it a little bit on True North, but the whole being retro in 2015 as in it's like come on, stop doing the throwback stuff. We don't you
Eh,
don't need to do this.
it's what they do. But the thing about what I was trying to say is about so we had to do a musical appreciation thing, and there was two slow songs, two medium songs, and two fast songs. And people usually put like dance music, or whatever. And they had to listen to it all. The slow songs, I wanted to post like hour-long funeral doom songs, but I figured we weren't gonna have enough time for that. So the slow songs I put were Sleep's Dragon on and Black Sabbath's Lord of This World for you stoners. The medium speed songs were Middle Classes Out of Vogue and Minor Threats Filler. And they're like, that's fast. And I was like, no, it isn't. And the fast songs I put Deicide's Kill the Christian and Napalm Death's Conservative Shithead. And I wasn't graded on that because my lyrics were too offensive. Oh, and then as a because the guy was an Eric Clapton fan, so I posted I put it as kind of a seventh song. I posted Anal Cunt's Connor Clapton committed suicide because his dad sucks. Yeah, he told me not to come into class that week.
Oh my god. I don't like it. Why do I talk to you? What?
Eric Clapton sucks.
That's it.
Uh, Eric
I
Clapton
remember the
sucks.
first time, one of the first times I told my mom about No Effects, and she's like, She's like, "What's the band called? The No Effects." I'm like, "Well, they are the only No Effects out there, but no Effects." And she's like, "Oh." So put them on. She's like, put them on my computer. I want to listen to them a little bit, and I did. And I looked at her iTunes library, and she changed the artist's name to The No Effects. Like that's not the fucking name. And then she deleted them because she got offended by the first song she heard, which I'm kind of shocked to say. It was either Leave It Alone or Fermenting and Failing. No, I think it was Leave It Alone she got offended by. Like, uh, how do you as a
Leave It
kid
Alone is a song that
how do you get
I
offended by?
honestly can't remember. Like I
Mm,
remember the song, but like whenever I listen to it, I can't remember ever listening to. Like I can't remember listening to it. It just leaves me so flat.
I was honestly, I think my best No Effects albums are Ribbed at number 1, and I fucking love I love War on Errorism and Wolves Ribbed, War on Errorism, and Wolves of Wolves Clothing.
My favorite NoFX albums are It Just Gets Worse, 40 More Reasons to Hate It. Oh no, sorry, that's a different band. I don't know. I'm not really the big NoFX fan I used to be. I listen to all their stuff, but I'm not like the diehard I used to be a NoFX fanboy. But now I'm just like, yeah, they're good.
I'm a Bad Religion fanboy.
No, I still am a Bad Religion fanboy, but I've kind of moved on in my. Like, I still listen to them, but as far as I've moved on to grindcore and black metal, the raw shite. That's the thing. Someone wanted to start a punk band with me the other day, and they looked at some of the bands I was showing them. They're like, "I really don't like this." I was like, because I was showing basically everything from like really raw hardcore, like Agnostic Front, United Blood, to grindcore and like power violence. And I was like, "Well, what do you want to do? That's my idea of hardcore." And they showed me Bad Brains and like 10-foot pole. I'm like,
Bad Brains is
why?
Bad Brains is a fucked up band, and I don't
I
support them.
like the first album. The first album isn't bad. Everything after that, Rock for Light's okay. Everything after the first album, except for the reggae stuff sucks. But the first album I like. They can really play. That's what they're. But basically, he just wanted to start like a hardcore punk band, whereas I wanted to start some like really noisy band. Um, but yeah, I posted some like Agnostic Front, United Blood, and then I posted but he wasn't really looking for that. He wanted something less hard.
Murder the give a man, murder the give a man, and that again.
Eh,
Fuck the peas, fuck the peas, fuck the peas, yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck the peas, fuck the peas, fuck the peas. Nobody knows that song but me.
Nobody cares.
You're not
Whoa.
You're not a nice person.
No, I'm not.
You want to be
Thank
nice.
you.
You
No, I
always
don't.
want to be nice. I'm pretty
Why would
sure
I
you
want to be?
do.
Why would I want to be nice?
I listen to noise and no wave so much that I've been having echoes of words and sounds in my fucking head lately.
It's okay. Sometimes when people are drone on, I replace them with Seth Putnam's voice from Anal Con. Oh, and I've been known to say, "Wow, when did you sound interesting?" Oh, sorry, I was talking to my imagination. Oh fuck, I think I have to. Fuck.
Leave it alone, kneel and pray, love fervent, shake and beg for the bone. Leave it all. Oh. La, 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 la. That's pretty much how I sing that.
Here's how I'd sing that.
Good. No Effects has
Don't
actually
call
gotten
me
worse live.
why. What?
No Effects has actually gotten worse live. Yeah, they pretty much have.
Yeah, I heard a live recording from them from like a couple of years ago. I was like, wow, you guys really can't play. I mean, in the
Yeah,
studio they're really tight.
that's why when you say they're polished, I'm like they're the opposite of polished, especially
Well,
their
no, they're
'90s
polished in
shit
the
is
studio. They're polished in the studio. In the studio.
maybe on maybe on the recent stuff, but not really at all. Nowhere near
In
it.
the studio, yes. Go
What's
play
that?
a NoFX song on drums or bass. Okay? Go play a NoFX song on drums or bass. one of the ones with a bunch of chords. Yeah, they're polished, but it's live they're not, which is weird.
because they don't care enough.
Eh, whatever.
I mean, if you had a band, would you be polished? I don't even think they fucking
I would
practice.
want to sound decent.
I just want to sound. I wouldn't really care what I sounded like.
Like if like why though? You work so hard. Why wouldn't you want to sound at least half decent?
Because they're that shitty band that everyone loves.
I mean, especially like if Napalm Death fucked up their blast beats, I would hate seeing them live. I mean, I'm not saying they have to be perfect all the time, but if every single blast beat they ever did was wrong, I would be like, wow, why am I watching this band? There's no intensity. But the fact that they make some little mistakes or whatever, which is always going to happen. But the fact that they, you know, can also be precise, it makes it much more intense show. I
You're
think.
not gonna make it hurt.
I'm gonna end the show because I'm gonna end the show, but we can still talk. I have to go do something really quick.
Is it? How long have you been on here for?
2 hours.
We're at the little my child. My mother took
But seriously,
sleeping
okay, this has been
pills.
political Trendy radio episode. Shh, shh.
Oh man, I'm gonna say something on your outro quickly. Before we end the show, head over to anarchaakaza.wix.com/anarchaakaza, and that is my website. A link to it will be in the description of this video.
Yeah,
Go
okay.
to that. Hold on. Go to that website and go to the PTR tab. Scroll to the bottom and subscribe to the newsletter that we will be sending out 2 times per month. It has information on artists and everything else about PTR.
I can summarize that in 10 seconds. Go to this website that's going to be in the
I already
description.
said
Go
it.
to the newsletter and subscribe. Yeah, but I'm just saying you don't need to be all OCD on there. Anyway, this has been Political Trendy Radio episode 41 for November, whatever the fuck day it is. Sorry, I can't think right now. 2015. You can email me at elllindenmood@gmail.com. Twitter is ptradio666. Facebook.com/political trendy radio. And Anarcha Wixfilters.com. Whatever. For Anarcha, for Eric. No, seriously, the link will be in the description. I've been Elliot Lindenwood. Bye.